There's something to be said for just giving your audience what they want. Marvel has clearly forgotten that. Phase 4 was awful. Now Phase 5 is kicked off to an even worse start. I would think that maybe a lot of the bad stuff in Phase 4 might have something to do with that. Marvel just wants to push aside their audience once again and bring in this new audience. And they've forgotten what made their movies good in the first place. So now Ant-Man crashed. Going to lose money. Not a shocker. The real story is going to be told when Guardians of the Galaxy 3 comes out. I'm very curious to see if we're about to hit a comic book movie crash. If Guardians of the Galaxy 3 doesn't do good at theaters, I think that's going to tell a pretty big story. That means basically it's over. But I don't think that's going to happen. I think Guardians is going to do well, actually. I think that franchise has built up enough good faith that I think it's going to do okay. I think there's a fan for that franchise, a fandom that's outside of comic books. Because for the most part, unless it's Endgame and Infinity War, no one, you really could have watched those and not been into any of the other Marvel movies. They're kind of their own thing. Their own cosmic Marvel there, which they were going to do. I don't know what happened to that. But the reason I'm talking about this is because, of course, John Wick made a ton of money. Ton of money. Huge, huge numbers for that movie. Did well. Why is that? Why did it do well? What gave you what you wanted? They know who their audience is. Dudes, men go see that movie. It's a high testosterone, shoot 'em up, violent movie. They didn't try to bend and bring in a different audience and cater woke to woke and put out there that, oh, we got a gay character in it. They didn't go out there and make that part of the headlines. Nobody ran around saying stupid shit during press conferences. Anytime you heard anything about that movie, it was, we're going to shoot stuff, and it's going to be a high-octane time. That's all I heard in any of the marketing for that movie. And sure enough, as Brandon Morse here points out, it's where I found this, men turned out in droves to go see this movie. John Wick Chapter 4 annihilates Shazam 2 with $73.5 million U.S. box office opening. I mean, the numbers speak for themselves. And by the way, this is just domestic. Worldwide, it's at $137 million. It's almost like they want to downplay the amount of money it makes. Because it's funny, if this is a Marvel movie or another company that a lot of these Hollywood journalists want to shill for, they'll put the global international number up there, not the domestic. But hell, even the domestic made money, so it doesn't matter. $137 million. Now let's take a look at the audience for that. John Wick 4's performance was fueled by males, who made up nearly 70% of ticket buyers, while more than 55% of the audience was between 18 through 34, according to Post-Track. All the movie accounted for more than 60% of all foot traffic per entertainment intelligence smashed together. But that's a huge audience of males. I would say that the rest of the people after that 70%, probably girlfriends and wives dragged to the movies. I'm sure that there was a percentage of women that just went to go see it with their girlfriends or their friend zone guy. But for the most part, I would say the rest of that number is women that were dragged to the movies. Because traditionally, at least from my experience, like, women don't jump to see these movies. And I'm not saying that there's not women that don't like them, but typically it's men that like stuff like this. And sure enough, when you give them what they're looking for and what they want, They sure as hell show up, don't they? Why doesn't Hollywood stop trying to make shit for everybody? Now you can make, let me rephrase that because I didn't mean it like that. You can make things for everybody, right? And they do that. You got your rom-coms. Like that's a woman's market. 100%. That is a woman's market. Okay? There's no reason that those don't need to exist. They make money. Women will make up 70% of that audience, and then the rest is them dragging their boyfriends, their friend zone guys, and their husbands to the movies. Okay? Why is it, though, when stuff like John Wick comes out, we've got to make that for everybody? It's got to be something that everybody's going to want to see. When you just make something for the target audience, they show up. And you don't push bullshit. You don't say stupid marketing things like Dungeons and Dragons is doing, saying the emasculated men. Dungeons and Dragons is a family movie, but it's also an action fantasy movie. But an action movie is something that men will show up for. And when you openly run around talking about that you're emasculating the men, you're going to turn them off. So what are these men going to do? They're not going to go see, they're going to go see this again. Hollywood is made up of nothing but idiots now. But this is such a great example of just doing it right. 70% of tickets went to men. Anyway, that's pretty much it. Let me know what you guys think. Also, if you would, please like, subscribe, share the video. Make sure you're still subscribed, hit that notification bell. Check out my Rumble and Locals. And I'll see you on the next one. Peace. Make sure to check out my Locals. There's a link in the description. It's a fun community that I'm trying to build over here. If you don't want to support me on YouTube, you can come over here. None of that money goes to YouTube. You also can just come over here for free. But if you are a supporter over here, I do plan on doing an extra live stream once a month and throwing links to the supporters so you can actually come on and have a supporter live stream with me. Also, it's a good place to catch all of my content. You don't have to worry about notifications like YouTube. They'll definitely work over here. So come check out my Locals.